Hello, boxing fans. This is a new boxing podcast called Truth and Company. As you can see, I'm John, the Truth Dioria. We had scheduled for today for our first pilot episode, IBF former world middleweight champion Peter Quillin. Something's going on with the scheduling right now. It might have something to do with the weather. I just heard from him a few minutes ago. We're kind of texting back and forth. I don't know if he's actually going to make it. So what we're going to do right now is you guys can go ahead and comment, and we can start talking about some basic boxing. We can talk about some upcoming fights. I can throw the link up on Facebook. If any of you guys want to come on and just do a boxing table talk, we can do that. We can just come on. It's unrestricted. It's unfiltered. It's unedited. That's the good and the bad about live, because we're live and I can't change nothing. And like I said, right now, Peter is not in studio. We had to change the time of the show to fit his schedule, and now unfortunately something else is going on, and sometimes that happens when you have live shows and new shows. So once again, any of you guys out there right now, I can throw the link up on Facebook. You guys can come back in the studio. It's a StreamYard format, pretty simple, and just come on and we can talk boxing. Let me see what's going on here right now. I'm getting a text, and hopefully okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to switch off real quick, throw the link up on Facebook. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So I'm open to the comments. Like I said, I just threw the link up on Facebook. Look for it right now. Click on, come in studio. It's real simple. We can talk boxing. First, let's talk. Did anybody see the Showtime show last night? I know it was kind of late. It kept me up pretty late. It was in Australia. Main event. Costa Tszú's son, Tim Tszú, versus Tony Harrison. Now, I expected more out of Tony. I got to be honest. I love Tony. I've done an interview with Tony. I respect him to the fullest. I followed his career. And I got to be honest, I really thought he had a chance to pull off the upset. And I don't know if it was the jet lag, the small ring, which it was a small ring, if everybody noticed, which obviously – Tim Tszú's people in Australia did that purposely so Tony Harrison can't move around like he normally does. He was just throwing the jab an awful lot. Wasn't coming behind it with the right hand very often. I didn't see any combinations. Didn't work the body at all. And Tim Tszú was in front of him the whole time. He could have tried to slow him down with the body shots. He could have tried to turn it into a dirty fight. He didn't. He stood right in front of him. Wasn't a lot of head movement. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing anything that Tim Tszú did, but Tim Tszú did what he was supposed to do. He's in front of his fans. They put a smaller ring for him. He came at Tony Harris from the first bell. He stood right in front of him. He was looking for a firefight, and Tony Harris just didn't bring the fire. He barely moved his feet. I've seen his feet a lot quicker. I mean, I know the ring was small. We get that. The commentators were talking about it. Everybody was talking about it that the minute Tony took 2 steps, he was in a corner or he was on the ropes. But as a pro fighter, and as long as he's been around and he's been a former world champion, you have to try to make adjustments. And I mean, I think he's 32 now. So you got to start asking the question, how much longer is he going to be around? Because now that he lost his fight, I mean, he basically goes back to the bottom of the list. And, Charlo isn't going to wait for him. Charlo's already fought him twice. He doesn't even care if he fights him a third time. He basically brought that up last night. He was a guest commentator, and he wasn't impressed with him at all. And, like I said, he's been in the ring with him twice. So I don't know where Tony Harrison goes from here. I mean, do you just take any big money fights that come your way, just to kind of hang around and still get some TV time and keep getting your name out there, or do you call it a day on this one? I mean, I don't want the guy to retire. I enjoy watching him fight. I guess personally, I want to see him be judged on the next fight, because like I said, it could have been a lot of different things. I've gone overseas with a fighter before, and the jet lag is definitely a factor. I mean, if you don't adjust to the time and you're not training right over there. Oh, hold on. Let's take a break, because in studio, our guest has just showed up, and we got IBF former middleweight champion about ready to talk to you guys about boxing education. Peter Quillin.
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
How are you doing? Thank you for taking time to come to Truth and Company today. I know you're super busy, but I want to be able to talk to the fans about boxing education as long as we can. So whatever important information you can give out there for us about as far as just finding a gym, what parents should be looking for or doing, and just working your way through the amateurs and what they need to know, and then possibly what you need to know to become a pro. If you got time to talk about all that, that would be great.
All right, let's first and foremost, you said the IBF. That's what you said when we first introduced me, correct, today?
Was I incorrect on that?
It's WBO.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, the WBO former world middleweight champion. At the end of the day, you're a world champion.
Yes, sir.
No matter what alphabet's in front of it, you got to be respected as a world champion. So I apologize for that.
So I love. Well, thank you for having me on the show. What makes this show the show truthful? What makes this show a truthful show?
Is that what you're asking me? What makes it a truthful show?
Yeah. Because
anybody that knows me, that's why I have the name The Truth. Is I don't bullshit people. I say it how it is. I don't like to sugarcoat things, whether you like it or not. That's how I got the nickname The Truth, and that's what I want my show to be about. It's unrestricted, it's unfiltered, it's unedited, it's unedited. I want people to come on here and be as real as they can be. I want the fans to see you guys outside the boxing ring as a person and just being yourselves and being real.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate that. Well, I got a lot of truth to be told on the show today.
Hey, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to hear it, Peter.
Well, let's go. Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I want you to start. You wanted to come on the show and talk about boxing education. You told me that you wanted to talk to the kids and the people about the real deal of boxing and what people need to know. So go ahead, man. I'm giving you the screen.
All right. Well, I had some inspirational things that happened to me. One was a guy, 24 years old, wanted to get advice about boxing. He needed to make ways so he can make some money for his family. I said, well, don't put that off on your family, that you're 24 years old and you trying to figure out what you need to do. And now you want to think about boxing as a craft. I never thought about boxing as something I needed to take care of my family with. I looked at boxing as a way for me to change the environment that I grew up in. So one thing is like to make your reality realistic. And it's always, a lot of people tend to want to dream dream a reality. And reality, dreams come to tuition when you're ready to work for them. And then you show yourself how much you can get things accomplished and get goals knocked down to make your imaginary life reality for yourself. So try to imagine things within yourself, not just based on imagination. You should base things on reality, make goals and make deadlines for those goals to get those taken care of. So that's number one thing I think is a big thing is to really know why you want to box. Tell yourself what is the reason why I wanted to box and what am I going to get out of it.
So basically what you're saying is be realistic and make short-term goals that can lead to that overall goal. As far as like, you can't just say today I want to be a world champion. It doesn't work like that. Say I'm going to get in the gym, I'm going to train hard, and maybe I'll try to win a state title first and
Yes.
see how that goes, and then we'll gradually work our way up to a world title. So for some advice for kids that I know where you're from in New York, there's a lot of gyms out in that area. But in the Midwest, there's other places where, I mean, there might be a gym every 100 to 200 miles. So what advice would you give a kid that doesn't have a lot of gyms around, that wants to find a gym? And what does he need to know when he first finds a gym? What type of advice, what is he looking for?
John, I want to ask you a question. Is this the truthful show?
Yes.
All right, so I want to speak the truth and no
Please,
lies here.
please do. Please
I
do.
said the most important thing is that if a kid got real love in his heart for the sport of boxing, I believe that his heart is going to provide him everything he needs to do to be able to go towards what his heart is driving him to do. So your heart will find a gym, even if it's 2 hours away. Whatever the struggle to do it, if your heart boxing is really in your heart, you're gonna find a way to do it and get it and accomplish. So follow your heart and a lot of emotions. Make sure that your reality, like I said, is based on your reality, not on just dreams. You want to see those goals come down. So if you want to get into a gym and you need to find an area, go find a gym in your area and get in there. Don't just say, hey, I'm looking for a gym. I want you to already say, I've been in the gym. This is why it doesn't work. And this is the reason why I got to find something else to do. Because your heart is going to drive you for whatever you want to do in your life.
Okay, so let's take that next step then. So they do find a gym, but what are they looking for in that gym? I mean, every boxer's an individual. I know we all get different things out of the gym. Different people go to boxing for different reasons. But I mean, what are they looking for solid in a gym? Because we know there's a lot of gyms that are garbage. I'm just going to be honest. You know that. The boxing world knows that. People try to claim they got good gyms, and there's different things going on in there that shouldn't be going on in there. I mean, deals on the sides. There might be abuse going on in there, alcohol or drugs going on in there. So what is a kid and his family looking for that they know that this gym is going to provide them?
I would say number one thing will be support from family members that's willing to look into things. I got a mom right now calling me. She want her son to be involved with the PLL program to maybe think about become a police officer at the same time while he's doing boxing as a place. So I believe there's nothing wrong with learning the fundamentals of boxing. It's always another jab you can throw. It's always another punch you can slip. It's always a better way to throw the right hand. Just to know that you want to make your offense and your defense work together. And make sure you set goals for yourself. So there's nothing wrong with going the extra miles to make sure you want to learn the fundamentals and get those down packed. So um, a real good gym is going to teach you the fundamentals, and they're going to indebt you to the fundamentals of boxing. You shouldn't go with somebody that they use their education to exert power over you because of what they know. You need to listen to, because if you fail at doing something, when you go to that person and say, hey, I did everything you told me this way, and they're going to find another reason what you did wrong. So I'll just say your heart is going to drive you where you need to be. Go off of your feelings sometimes. Make your thoughts connect with the way you feel. And at the same time, are you knocking? Are you challenging yourself to see things in your career to come to pass? So I would just say your heart is going to give you what you need. You just got to be in a moment where you can let yourself know that what you there for, and be your best reminder, your own best reminder of why you doing boxing.
Okay, so first of all, what age did you go into the gym? And then what do you recommend for a female or a male kid that wants to go to a gym, what do you think is a good age for them to actually start at, where they can learn discipline and they can listen and comprehend what's going on in the gym?
Well, do you notice there's a lot of boxing gyms in bad neighborhoods?
Oh yeah, all over the world.
You know why?
No.
Because struggle builds fighters. So just know that your struggle gonna build a fighter that you are. The part of being a struggler at fighting when you come into the gym for the first time is to tell yourself you got to organize your chaos, and that's all boxing is organized chaos. Just working a set of rules and all these different things, but you want to really conform your personality into what a fighter is. If you walking in the gym, you telling yourself, "This is what I want to do." You got to fit your personality to that style of fighting.
Okay, and now we both know that there's different levels. Some people will go in the gym and they won't even make it as far as through the exercising. Some people will think just the exercising of boxing is too hard, because a lot of people will tell you, and I'm sure you can say, I mean, you're a former world champion, that training in boxing is probably the hardest sport to train for. It will give you the overall best workout. Some people can't make it past the workout. Then some people can't comprehend or make it past the boxing training. Then some people will make it to maybe the sparring, but then once they realize they have punches coming towards their face, they can't make it past that. They can hit a bag all day, but and then some people that do make it into the sparring, they can't make it into the ring in front of a crowd. So there's a lot of people that fall out along the way. So what type of advice do you give to people to get through those different hurdles?
Well, you got to just know that a butt whooping is part of the game. But if you got too many butt whoopings, I'm not gonna tell you to stop. I'm just telling you maybe you should reconsider, because you want to go up in there and challenge yourself, and like I said, bust down the deadlines. You want to make sure you set realistic goals. Hey, when I spar, the person that I'm sparring is never going to hit me in my face. That's a good goal to make, and it's a realistic goal. Or hey, I'm going to go up in there, I'm going to punch this guy as many times as I can. Averagely tell yourself you want to throw 15 jabs per round. That's along with combination. So those realistic goals, like I said, going to get a person what they need. But other people that's not built for the sport, brother, I can't tell them why they're not built. That's up to them to tell themselves. You got to go to the mirror. The most important part of the tool in boxing is going to the boxing mirror and looking at yourself and telling yourself, am I meant to do this? If this is what I'm going to do? And ask yourself, who's going to value me more than I value myself? It's probably the most important question you can ask anybody, even if a person is a non-boxer. Go to the mirror, look at yourself and say, hey, am I happy with the person I see? And if you're not, you got to fight some things out of yourself to make sure you do. And if you are, then you're doing a good job.
Okay, so another thing is, I don't think a lot of people think about when they start going into boxing and they realize they want to be a boxer, what type of sacrifices they're going to have to make and what type of time and dedication they're going to have to put into the gym. So tell me about some type of sacrifices that in just general that they're going to have to make that they might not realize it, and some of the sacrifices you had to make just to be a world champion.
Oh, so getting punched in the face and not holding grudges. How about that one? You're gonna get hit in the face. Just that's a fact. Now it's up to you how you handle that.
But I mean, what about giving up time with your family? Taking off time from work,
Do,
traveling.
do you have kids?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an older son now.
Right now, so like right now, you even taking time on right now. I mean, it's just like it's my life is a fight that I'm trying to win every day. So that's just my mindset. Everybody's mindset is different, but what I'm saying for me is like when I step in the ring, I'm just explaining I'm explaining my personal life, my personal thoughts, and everything that I fight with through every day. So I think it's the same for everybody. Pretty really knowing yourself and being happy with the person itself is the most important thing you do. Is it's a lot of people that can't look themselves in the mirror and being happy with the person they see. And that's including fighters. So I think the most important part of the fight is going to the mirror and beating the things you don't like about yourself out, and to be able to come to reality that you got to stop imagining and live within your reality.
Okay, so what do you I mean, I know everybody's different, their skill set once they get into the amateurs, but give me an average of amateur fights that you think a person should have before they decide to turn pro.
I had 15.
Really? You only had 15 amateur fights
Yes, I did.
and you became a world champion. That's pretty
Yes, sir.
impressive.
Yeah, so I'm not here to tell somebody you gotta have 25. I said get as much experience in boxing. You nobody can. Everybody's story is different. You got to tell your story from the way you got to tell your story, brother.
Okay. So let's jump into the pros then, because the pros are way different than the amateurs. Obviously, just basic things like you no longer have headgear on for one thing. Um, but I mean, the rounds are longer. Then you got to start dealing with people like having a manager. You might have to upgrade your trainer from the amateurs. Your whole mindset, your lifestyle might have to change. Talk to me a little bit about that.
But that's all what you're saying are decisions that a fighter need to make sure that they put boxing as a priority. Boxing is dangerous. So if you don't make boxing a priority, you can get hurt. And I think the most important reason is to really know that and let everything that's going to take away from you getting hurt, take it away, and then add on to everything that's going to help you protect yourself, educate yourself behind the sport of boxing, and allow yourself to grow as much as you can within this sport. Because a lot of people, you hear a lot of champions, but you hear a lot of people that's been working very hard to become a world champion and never became, and now they live a very bad story that nobody hear about.
Okay. So let me ask you. Let's touch a little bit on some of your personal story then. Okay, so you only had 15 amateur fights. I mean, did you decide to turn pro after you're 15, or did you have a good support system around you that believed that you could do it?
No, I don't. I didn't have none of that. I had a mom telling me that I wasn't going to be anything in my life, and I had nobody supporting me, and I made things happen. And I still got a good heart in my heart to say I forgive my mom, forget all these parts of my story that didn't allow me to be the greatest person I could have been in those moments. But what I've known is like my belief in God now has took me to the next level of the way I even have an outlook of life, that I use boxing as a way to educate people and let them know that we all fighting through stuff, and it's all about beating yourself up and winning.
Did you have any coaches in the pros or the amateurs that were like father figures to you that helped you get through a lot of struggles?
Yeah, every party that played a part in my career, I appreciate them because they taught me things about my 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 road and my journey to becoming a world champion, after a world champion, and all the things about life, how I can teach these moments in my life that I became where I'm at in my life.
Okay, now I know like just in the past couple of years you retired, correct? Did you actually make that official or did
No,
you just
no, but I'm basically ain't doing nothing else besides eating a sandwich. Um, yeah, basically that's it. Enjoying my children, getting fit and ready to figure out what's the next part of my life. I've been told my whole career shut up and box. So when it was time to do something else, who was there for me? I've been here shut up and box, and I was trying to be a husband, be a father, be a son of God. Who told me these things? So everybody that played a part in my boxing career has taught me something about where I'm at in my life right now.
okay, so do you even go to the gyms anymore? Do you have anything to do with any training, coaching, anything, or are you
Yeah.
just completely done with it?
I train kids right now. I train people, Wall Street people. I train people that want to, work with me in New York City. I call it boxing therapy. 13 rounds, 10 rounds, 8 rounds, 15 rounds of boxing therapy.
Now, is that just kids that are actually trying to become boxers, or is that just people that are trying to be fit or
I got a little kid that's nice. He can box, and he want to box, but I really want him to consider going to the police force like his mom doing. So, trying to let him know boxing is something you can do at the same time while you're doing these other things. But I train women, train a lot of different people. The Lord, the God sends a lot of people towards my way, and they can learn a great deal from me if you really put your ear into what I'm saying.
okay. So I want to touch back again on the pros a little bit because I want some people to understand that are just getting into the pros that they see all this great glorified stuff on TV, top ranked, ESPN, Showtime, and they think just because they turn pros that they're automatically going to be on there. Take me through the path a little bit. Exactly, it's a lot of who you know, who you don't know, and connections and things like that in order to get on TV and kind of get a title shot, is it not?
If you good at what you do, your skill is gonna get you to where you need to be at. That's as simple as that. If you're a good fighter, people gonna want to see a good fighter. So you're gonna always have eyes. I'm gonna see a good fighter. Just go out there and show and prove. You know, I'm living evidence that you can become from nothing to make yourself something. So what I say is like altogether is like boxing is just was a tool on towards where I want to be at right here in this mindset, this consciousness that I'm in right now. I'm never gonna come out of this. So if I'm being used in a way to tell people, hey, I'm telling you that your heart is going to direct you and give you everything you need to never just get consciously grasp on money all the time. Because people say you see all these things, but let me tell you a saying that my mom's saying, it can hit your heart. You ready?
Sure.
Everything that glitters is not gold.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. Nice. Makes you think.
I'm not a regular guy.
No, and like I said, that's why I appreciate you coming on here, because you are real, and I'm all about the truth and about being real on my show. So I was glad that you were willing to be, on my pilot show and just be real. And I think everything you've said so far is just, complete honesty, and people are going to either take it or they're not. And there's been a lot of good things you've already said today that people should be listening to. As far as I mean, we all know that the boxing game, yeah, there's good people in the game, and there's people that aren't in the game. How do you put a good support system around you, the people that are around you, to trust that in your small group of people that that people aren't that they're not just being with you to try to succeed in the sport or to use you to climb over you? What did you do to have a good support system around you?
I basically didn't trust people farther than what I can throw them.
Well, I mean, that's honest. That's honest.
What I was gonna say is like, I come from an environment that allowed me to trust people. So I'm telling you that mindset has got me far, but it also taught me that we shouldn't undermine that something good can come out of people. But I ultimately think that we as people are flawed, and we are more than first of all, we're more than conquerors inside of Christ, but we're more failures when it comes to building and growing other relationships. So I think if you look at yourself, you make sure you put out what you want to get back. That's a good thing. That's a good measuring stick. You get out what you put. You get back what you put out.
Okay. So if I got any new guys that, like I said, are just turning pro and are watching this podcast right now, what's the best advice you could give them?
Come on to the truth all the time and come hear the truth that we be speaking, and follow your boy Kid Chocolate on Instagram at Kid Chocolate.
Exactly. There you go, man. That's the way to throw it out there. I was wondering if you're going to throw any handles out there today.
I'm going to do it today. We live and direct with the truth right here. So that's all we need right now.
No, you're right. Have you do you actually sit around and study fights or watch any fights at all, or are you just too busy nowadays?
I'm in church right now.
Now?
I'm in church. I just led at my church. I'm going to sit here and start a life group with boxing here in my church. That's what I'm doing here. I was going to hit you back and say, let's do 130 because I needed to be in a meeting with the church. But I'm here at the church giving all my service that God has allowed me to have for other people looking for a stronger mindset.
Okay. So I suppose we should wrap it up pretty soon then, because you got to go take care of your church.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, let's do that right now then.
Can I say a prayer for the thing today?
Yeah, say it for the thing, say it for the future boxers and everybody out there listening.
In the mighty name of Jesus, Lord, we just thank you for this time. We thank you for this moment. I pray for my brother John, who gives truth. Lord, we pray that you have honest people that come here to be able to give their story and what they experience in boxing, and be helpful to the fans and all the useful people you want to use in boxing today, Lord. we just thank you that we was able to come and minister to each other, have a story, have a conversation, and have love in the center today, Lord. We just thank you. We praise your mighty name. We want to have you extend your arm onto this group and this platform to bless it in the way that you want it to be blessed. We thank you. We praise your mighty name. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Well, I just want to thank you for your time. I knew it was a little complicated getting you on the show. We had to change time, and you had things going on with the church, and then we got things going on here with the weather.
Yes.
You probably got issues with the weather out there as well. So I just appreciate you coming on my first podcast. I hope that you'll come back again, and that we can have you on with some other guests, and that we can just talk boxing again.
Yes. Let me know when you're ready.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You got anything left to say to the fans, Peter?
Yes, I want to make sure that y'all follow me. If you're in New York, come train with me. I'm in Tribeca. Be looking out for some music I'm going to be dropping. I'm dropping a lot of gospel music. Check that out. And just follow me at Kid Chocolate and just keep me updated. If you need prayer specifically, you can put me on a DM on your on my Instagram. I look through them and I'll write you down in prayer. I even call you and give you a prayer out of my heart. But that's it.
Thanks, champ. I appreciate it. You have a good day in church, man.
My brother, thank you.
All right. And the truth has spoken.